The time is precisely 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Chandima Virakon. Headlines. Minuwangoda Corona cluster increases to 1,850. The second reading of the debate on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be held on Wednesday and Thursday. The request made by Madurankuliya people to President bring results. The foreign travel ban imposed on the captain of the new diamond ship lifted. In foreign news, European Union leaders agree to hold video conferences to coordinate national measures against the COVID-19 pandemic. In sports news, USA Cricket eyes full ICC membership by 2030. Local stories in detail. Minuwangoda Corona cluster has increased to 1,850. The Government Information Department says 61 infected patients were found today. 3 of them are employees and contacts of the garment factory who are at the quarantine centre. 58 others are contacts of the employees. Deputy Secretary-General of the Parliament, Neil Iddawala, told SLBC that the second reading of the debate on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be held on Wednesday and Thursday. The decision has been taken following the party leaders' meeting today. On both days, the debate will commence at 10 a.m. and end at 7:30 p.m. The vote will be taken after the debate on Thursday. The development activities to Andigama through Madurankuliya, Mahakumbu Kadavala on Colombo Puttalam Main Road, playground of Madurankuliya Model School, and Jeevanagama, Kapuwattu Road have reached the last stage. Development projects were implemented according to requests made by people when President Gotabaya Rajapaksa toured the Puttalam district on the 19th of last month. When the President visited Madurankuliya Model School, the request made by the students was directed to the Army Engineering Regiment. The construction has been completed by about 90% during a short period of 18 days. The playground has been developed by filling it up and with a new drain system to prevent it from submerging during rains. The President also instructed to remove the unsafe building on the playground. Accordingly, a new building will be constructed at the place. Jeevanagama Kapuwattu Road is being developed by laying asphalt according to a request made to the President by the people in the area. 1 billion rupees is being spent on the development activities. The people informed the President about the dilapidated condition of the Colombo Puttalam Main Road to Andigama through Madurankuliya, Mahakumbu Kadavala. Accordingly, a stretch of 9.7 kilometers of road is being developed by laying asphalt at a cost of 250 million rupees. The Colombo Magistrates Court today ordered to lift the overseas travel ban imposed on the captain of the crude oil tanker MT New Diamond, which caught on fire while on Sri Lankan waters. The case against Captain Stedio Elias was taken up before Colombo Chief Magistrate Mohammed Mihar today, following a motion put forward by the attorney representing the Greek national. During the proceedings of the case, the captain's counsel told the court that his client has pleaded guilty to the charges laid against him before the Colombo High Court. He added that his client has already paid the fine to the tune of 12 million rupees imposed by the Colombo High Court on Wednesday. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with the local stories. It has been revealed at the Presidential Commission to inquire into the Easter Sunday attacks that the Tawhid Jamaat organization has formed a team of detectives. Giving evidence today before the Commission, Sub-Inspector Sanath Nandasiri of Colombo Terrorist Investigation and Crimes Division said that they received information that a 4-member detective team was formed at Mavanella in August 2018. They have been entrusted with gathering information on police stations in Colombo and the Navy headquarters. They have also been entrusted with preparing a plan to kill 2 Muslims who had converted into another religion. Sub-Inspector Sanath Nandasiri said that they have also been asked to provide safe houses to the team, including Saran. Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda has said that the 20th Amendment will not affect the political aspirations of the Tamil people. The minister said that the 20th Amendment to the Constitution would be incorporated in line with the recommendations of the Supreme Court. He also pointed out that the government has provided financial assistance for the celebration of Navaratri to promote religious beliefs of the Tamil people. Minister Douglas Devananda made the remarks during a meeting with Canadian High Commissioner David McKinnon. The meeting was held at the Ministry of Fisheries in Maligavatta today. Veteran actress Anula Bulat has passed away at the age of 73. She had passed away this morning while receiving treatment at the Sri Jayawardhanapura Hospital. Anula Bulat was popular for her numerous acting roles in Sri Lankan cinema, teledramas and stage dramas. She was also an accomplished singer. Veteran journalist and artist Vehelle Piyathilaka has passed away at the age of 90. He worked for the long time as a provincial reporter of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. He produced several stage dramas in the 70s. Vehelle Piyathilaka was the art director of Mihindu Sihina film directed by Daya Vimalavira. He was also a lyricist. He worked at several newspapers, including Atta and Dinamina. The funeral will be held tomorrow afternoon at Kahatagasdigiliya Public Cemetery. To end the local news, the headlines again. Minuwangoda Corona cluster increases to 1,850. The second reading of the debate on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be held on Wednesday and Thursday. The requests made by Madurankuliya people to President bring results. The foreign travel ban imposed on the captain of the New Diamond ship lifted. That ends the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
On the main news story, the International Day to Eliminate Poverty falls tomorrow. The United Nations says it is essential to take steps to eliminate poverty and to make people self-sufficient. The United Nations said the employment opportunities should be enhanced in each country and more youth should be provided with jobs to achieve that target. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Institute of Certified Management Accountants of Sri Lanka will hold its 17th National Management Accounting Conference 2020 on the theme Business 2030, Global Impact and Value Creation in the Next Normal. It will be held on Wednesday and Thursday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., comprising 4 technical sessions. This year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, CMA will hold virtual conference to the members of CMA, business community and government sector. They will be invited to attend the webinar free of charge and benefit from the conference. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to world news, the headlines. European Union leaders agree to hold video conferences to coordinate national measures against the COVID-19 pandemic. First, no quarantine flights arrive in Australia as virus cases fall. Google launches new feature to help locate nearest voting locations. Hundreds of New Zealand plane passengers started arriving in Sydney today as part of a new trans-Tasman travel bubble amid a rapidly falling growth rate in cases at the epicenter of Australia's coronavirus outbreak. In a tentative reopening to international tourism, travellers on the approved flights won't be required to quarantine in Sydney. European Union leaders have agreed to hold video conferences almost on a weekly basis to coordinate national measures against the COVID-19 pandemic as the continent battles a spike in infections. The EU's 27 nations fought COVID-19 with different, sometimes contrasting measures in the first months of the pandemic. The tighter coordination is expected to avoid a repetition of divisions seen after the first outbreaks. Alphabet Incorporation's Google said today it was introducing new features across its search engine, Maps and Voice Assistant to help voters in the United States find their nearest voting locations. Details on in-person voting or returning mail-in ballots can be found under searches with early voting locations or ballot drop boxes near me, Google said in a blog post, adding the data was pulled from a joint project between state election officials and non-partisan, non-profit civic group Democracy Works. To end the world news, the headlines again. European Union leaders agreed to hold video conferences to coordinate national measures against the COVID-19 pandemic. First no quarantine flights arrive in Australia as virus cases fall. Google launches new features to help locate nearest voting locations. That ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
On development news, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization and the United Nations World Food Programme have joined hands in calling for action to improve the food systems to help people better withstand shock, including the COVID-19 pandemic, and prevent increasing malnutrition in the country. FAO representative for Sri Lanka and the Maldives, Dr. Surbing Sun, said future food system needs to be provided decent livelihoods for food system workers while preserving natural resources and biodiversity and tackling challenges such as climate change. That ends development news.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the 4 of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Mummy insisted on building an extra room in our new house.
Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
Sports News is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
And on sports news, it's cricket, tennis and Olympics. On cricket, USA Cricket has launched its first strategic plan here, outlining initiatives to be launched until the end of 2023, with the target of becoming a full member of the International Cricket Council by 2030. It also plans to launch a domestic T20 professional league, Major League Cricket, by 2022 and develop at least 2 more ICC one-day international accredited venues by next year. Currently, the country has one such facility in Florida. On tennis, the Australia Open will be absent from the sporting calendar for the first time since World War II this season, after Golf Australia and the PGA of Australia cancelled all of their top events today because of COVID-19 pandemic. The 105th edition of the country's oldest and most prestigious tournament, scheduled to take place at Melbourne's Kingston Health Golf Club, had already been postponed from its usual slot in November. And in Olympics, Yokohama Stadium will hold 3 baseball games at around 80% capacity later this month as Japan looks to test its COVID-19 countermeasures at big events ahead of the rearranged Tokyo Olympics next year. Economic Revitalization Minister Yasutoshi Nishimura, who heads Japan's COVID-19 fight, told reporters that if the experiment was a success, all professional stadiums would be allowed to boost capacity. That ends sports news.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bear here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go. It's the right amount of crunch and OMG, so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie chocolate cream biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
On business news, Sri Lanka's UB Finance Company Limited, a licensed non-bank lender, said a plan to raise 1.6 billion rupees through a rights issue has been approved by the regulator. The rights issue will meet enhanced capital requirements set by the central bank for 31st December. Colombo-based Union Bank owns 81% of the UB Finance's voting stock and Equator Capital Partners, an emerging market fund manager, 13.2%. The balance is held by minority shareholders. That ends business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On economic news, Sri Lanka rupee quoted at 184.35 to the US dollar today, while bond yields eased marginally in the overall market. Dealers said in the money market, liquidity was 183.80 billion rupees yesterday, up from 177.04 billion rupees from the previous day's close. In the second securities market, bond yields eased marginally, while the overall market was active. That ends economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th stage begins. 40% discount for selected goods from 12th to 25th of October. Visit CIB today.
And finally on the weather report, the Met Department says a few showers will occur tomorrow in Western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Galle and Matra districts. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in Vavuniya, Mullaitivu and Kilinochchi districts. That ends the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th stage begins. 40% discount for selected goods from 12th to 25th of October. Visit CIB today.
And to end this bulletin of news, the headlines again. Minuangada corona cluster increases to 1,850. The second reading of the debate on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be held on Wednesday and Thursday. The request made by Madurankuliya people to President bring results. The foreign travel ban imposed on the captain of the new diamond ship lifted. On foreign news, European Union leaders agreed to hold video conferences to coordinate national measures against the COVID-19 pandemic. In sports, USA Cricket eyes full ICC membership by 2030. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.